Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Unstoppable Denominators channel of wrestling results. Here in this channel, Impact on Access TV results December 9th, 2021. The action begins before the Impact with an exclusive match featuring a returning knockout. Lady Frost with Kimberly with Brandy Lauren. Lady Frost is back as she looks to cool off with terrifying Kimberly. Frost attempts to quicken the pace, but Lee shuts her down with a buckle bomb into the corner. Lee hits a roundhouse kick, followed by a delayed vertical suplex for 2. Both knockouts are down following in sync super kicks. Frost builds momentum with a cartwheel cannonball. Frost takes Lee off her feet with a modified spin kick, then soars off the top rope with a corkscrew moonsault to score the victory. Lady Frost defeats Kimberly with Brandy Lauren. Welcome back, Lady Frost. As Hard to Kill continues to draw nearer, an all-new Impact is on the air from Las Vegas. Knockouts World Champion Mickie James and Chris Sabin versus Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew Rowlett. Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo look to build momentum towards their Knockouts World Title rematch at Hard to Kill. In this tag team contest, Mickie squares off with Rowlett to kick things off as Mickie uses her quickness. See, this is what I like, is to see a man versus a woman in wrestling. You don't see it anywhere else besides Impact and Lucha Underground. But rest in peace, Lucha Underground. We don't see that company anymore. I wish we could see that happen again. If I was rich, I would bring that company back. Mickie James uses her quickness to gain the advantage. Purrazzo distracts Sabin on the top rope, allowing Rowlett to turn the tide. Purrazzo hits Sabin with a clothesline, then takes Mickie off the apron with a second clothesline. Rowlett connects with a sit-down powerbomb on Sabin for 2. Sabin cuts him off with a mid-air drop kick and makes the tag to Mickie. Purrazzo meets her head-on a brawl ensues. Purrazzo counters the cradle shock from Sabin. Mickie launches herself off the top, colliding with Purrazzo and Sabin on the floor. Purrazzo pins Mickie with some added leverage from Rowlett to win. Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew Rowlett defeats Knockouts World Champion Mickie James and Chris Sabin. Morrissey confronts Matt Cardona during an interview with Gia Miller and vows to take him out before their triple threat Impact World Title match at Hard to Kill. Cardona challenges him to a match tonight and says that if Morrissey wins, he'll back out of the title match. Joe Doring says that he has a design to contract the numbers advantage that Rhino, Heath, Rich Swann, and Willie Mack have over Violent by Design. Rohit Raju with Raju Singh versus Lawrence D. After not being invited to Wrestle House, Rohit Raju is out to hurt the Lord of the Manor, Lawrence D. Rohit walks right into an atomic drop, followed by a running splash from Lawrence. Out of nowhere, Josh Alexander storms into the impact zone and clears the ring. Rohit Raju with Raj Singh versus Lawrence D ends in a non-contest. Josh Alexander is back after being viciously attacked by Joan at Turning Point. Alexander calls him out, but is met by Impact Executive Vice President Scott D'Amore. Instead, D'Amore says that Joan isn't in the building because he's asked him to stay home in anticipation of the situation like this. D'Amore announces Alexander versus Joan, or whatever, Joan, on January 8th at Hard to Kill. But Alexander doesn't want to wait. D'Amore tells him to keep his emotion in check. When Alexander snaps and delivers a C4 spike to Raj Singh, Laredo Kid comes to the aid of a security guard who's being bullied by the Bullet Club's Chris Bay and Hikalu. After remaining undefeated, Steve Macklin demands yet another X Division title opportunity, but Scott D'Amore denies him this time. The Learning Tree, VSK, and Zicky Dice versus Finn Juice, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson. Can the Learning Tree impress their teacher, Brian Myers, with a victory over one of the most successful tag teams in professional wrestling today? Zicky uses an outlandish, sorry, that was my cat, magic trick to distract Juice, allowing VSK to take control with a top rope foot stomp. Zicky and VSK have issues in the early going as they struggle to employ tag team fundamentals. Finn Juice hits the double flapjack on VSK. Moments later, the double team attack continues as Finn Juice put VSK away with a backbreaker elbow drop. Finn Juice, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson defeat the Learning Tree, VSK, and Zicky Dice. After the match, VSK and Zicky Dice are seen arguing over their loss. Impact World Champion Moose offers to help W. Morrissey take out Matt Cardona tonight so that their world title match at Hard to Kill can be one-on-one. Morrissey says that he doesn't trust Moose and vows to eliminate Cardona himself. As Eric Young is about to enter the Impact Zone for his street fight with Rhino, he tells Joe Doring and Diener to stay in the back. So next we have Eric Young versus Rhino in a street fight. The personal rivalry between the former Violent by Design allies, Eric Young and Rhino, explodes in this match with no disqualifications and no countouts. Rhino sends him into the steel guardrail, then delivers a back suplex on the apron. Rhino hits a vertical suplex on the exposed ramp. Young sidesteps a gore attempt as Rhino crashes headfirst into a garbage can. Rhino takes him off the top with a thunderous suplex. Rhino sets up another gore. When Diener and Joe Doring hit the ring, Heath evens the odds as Rhino gets caught with a shot from Young's mask. It's total Anarchy as Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and even Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, join the fray. Young capitalize off the chaos with a pile driver to win. Eric Young defeats Rhino in a street fight. Post-match, Violent by Design joins forces with the Good Brothers to lay out Rhino, Heath, Rich Swann, and Willie Mack. Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, the Inspiration and the Influence, argue over what their new supergroup should be called. Either the Inspirational Influence or the Influentational Inspiration. Regardless, they must get on the same page because their 8-person tag team match against Decay is next. Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay, and the Influence, Tennille Dashwood, my crush, and Madison Rain, with Caleb with a K versus Decay, Rosemary, Havoc, Black Taurus, and Crazy Steve. Could the Inspiration new alliance with the Influence be what it takes to put their issues with Decay to rest? Following a double kick from the Inspiration to the back of Rosemary, the Demon Assassin rises from the dead to scare them off. Havoc hits Jessie with a backbreaker clothesline combo for a 2. Madison jumps on the back of Steve, but he sends her for a ride and bites her head. Torres throws Dashwood over the top rope as she crashes into Caleb at ringside. It appears Madison is angry that the Inspiration didn't help break her partner's fall. In the ring, Rosemary spears Dashwood to score the victory. Decay, Rosemary, Havoc, Black Taurus, and Crazy Steve defeats Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay, and the Influence, Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rain, with Caleb with a K. Gia Miller interviews the newest member of the Knockouts division, Lady Frost, after her victory over Kimberly earlier tonight on BTI. Scott Demary reveals Gail Kim as the newest member of the Impact management, and she announces the lineup for the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match at Hard to Kill. Lady Frost, Tasha Steelz, Rachel Erling, Impact Digital Media Champion Jordan Grace, woohoo, Chelsea Green, and Rosemary. Up next, we have Morrissey versus Matt Cardona. I think this is the main event. Yes, it is. So, the stakes are high in this week's Impact main event. If Morrissey can defeat Matt Cardona will be removed from the Triple Threat Impact World Title match at Hard to Kill. Morrissey meets Cardona on the ramp during his entrance, and the fight is on. They brawl around the ring side area where Morrissey drives Cardona in the steel ring post. In the ring, Cardona hits a flash codebreaker for a 2. Morrissey sends Cardona toppling from the top all the way to the floor, then throws him like a lawn dart into the post. Impact World Champion Moose is seen watching on from a press box as Cardona is busted open. Morrissey charges into the corner, but Cardona sidesteps to create separation and build momentum. Cardona takes the big man off his feet with a missile drop kick, followed by a reboot for 2. Facing adversity, Cardona counters a power bomb into radio silence, but Morrissey somehow kicks out. Moments later, Morrissey pummels him in the corner as the referee tries to pry him off. Morrissey pushes Brian Hebner to the mat, and he calls for the bell. Matt Cardona defeats W. Morrissey by disqualification. Morrissey takes out Hebner with a big boot. The assault continues when Morrissey delivers a powerbomb to an already lifeless Cardona. Chelsea Green comes out to protect her fiancé as Moose hits the ring. Moose wants Morrissey's help in taking out Cardona, but Morrissey gives him a boot instead. Cardona fights back and lays out Morrissey before standing tall with the Impact World title held high. And then Impact goes off the air. That's your results for Impact Wrestling. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way guys do not miss an upload here in this channel of Wrestling Results. I'm Unstoppable, and I'm out.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Skiz here, and if you don't subscribe to Blonde and the Unstoppable Denominator, then you are a toothy bumfuck, pussy ass bitch motherfucker.